Good morning, and it's time for this special edition of Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard. Today is a special day because we're celebrating 124 years of service in the community from Oakwood University. So good morning to you, Dr. Pollard.
Hey, good morning, Donna. Good morning, and happy birthday to Oakwood University, huh? Now, November 16, 1896, we were opened for business, and thank God for the rich history and the rich legacy that Oakwood University represents. On today, I'm just reminded, Donna, of the founders of this great institution, how during the height of crisis for African-American people, we were called colored people back then, but during the height of that crisis, right during the era of lynchings, when according to many historians, more than 4,000 people were lynched between 1890 and 1928. And about 1,200 white people were lynched for helping Black people to not be lynched. It's right during the height of racial crisis that God planted Oakwood University. And I'm just reminded this morning, as we think about a word of devotional this morning, I'm just thinking of the famous sermon that was preached by Mrs. Ellen G. White on March 21st, 1891. It was called Our Duty to the Colored People. And 5 years later, after she preached that sermon at General Conference, her son came, of course, down the Mississippi, and Oakwood University was born in 1896, November 16, 1896. And here we are, 124 years later, still doing God's work. So I'm very grateful this morning. My heart is filled. We've got so much to be grateful for. And our table of guests today represent an array of the blessings that are represented here by Oakwood University. I'm just very grateful, Donna, very grateful.
I know, I feel it all in your spirit today, just being
Thank
grateful.
you.
I mean, another year, 124 years, that's a long time for God to be blessing a university like ours. And we've come a long, long way. So what were the beginnings of Oakwood University? What did they look like? What were we called back then in 1896 when it was founded on this very day, the 16th?
On this very day, on a former slave plantation, 360 acres. I don't want to take away Miriam's contribution here because she does the tours a lot, but at 360 acres, 60 oak trees, nine cabins and one dilapidated, 9 slave cabins and one dilapidated old mansion. And it was called Oakwood, Old Jacob's Farm, a place where they beat slaves mercilessly. According to Dr. Mervyn Warren's research on Oakwood, A Vision Splendid, it was on these grounds, who knew that on these grounds, God would take a place that had been dedicated to the enslavement of African-American people. God would take this place and he would make it the launching pad for liberating education. It's just amazing. And as a tradition back then, Donna, as a tradition, all of these schools were founded with a very strong manual emphasis. It was believed that the best way to help the race was to teach skill-based education and to deliver that to the sons and daughters of former slaves. So Oakwood started in that way, and boy, we've come a long way since then.
Long way. So we're going to go ahead and introduce all of our guests today because, like you said, we have several of them. And as we go through our discussion, we're going to ask them to contribute as we go through the discussion. So we have with us Zavon Kanion, Oakwood University Board of Trustees Chair and Donor, as well as his wife, Mrs. Jackie K. Kanion, Oakwood University Donor. We also have Ms. Cheri Wilson, Oakwood University Executive Director of Advancement, and Dr. Karen Anderson, Oakwood University Chair of the Nursing Department, Dr. Barbara Stovall, Oakwood University Archivist, and Eva B. Dykes Library, and of course, Miriam Battles, we've had on here several times, Oakwood University Development Officer. So, you know, when I was reading this, I didn't understand the significance of the nursing department. So why was the nursing department so significant, and why do we have that represented here today on Founders Day for Inside Oakwood? You want to answer that, Dr. Karen Anderson?
Well, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. This is the International Year of the Nurse, and 2020 has brought in so many unexpected events. And I am just really delighted to express how that the field of nursing is being challenged as we speak. And so it is appropriate that we are here on Founders Day.
Right. Wow. Miriam, Ms. Battles, can you add to that?
Yes, I would also add that our first graduating class in 1909 from Oakwood Manual Training School was a nursing class of 5 students. So to me, that makes it all the more significant that we're honoring this on Founders Day, the first graduating class nurses, and this is the year of the nurse as well.
Wow. So Dr. Pollard, I know there's something going up on our campus as well that kind of feeds into this as well, right? The clinic.
Yeah, we've got a team. We've got some wonderful events planned, of course, today. But one of the things that comes to mind from your question is that we're thinking about the future of nursing here at Oakwood University and how that is going to look. We've got such a rich tradition. I mean, nursing is embedded in what Oakwood represents. The notion that we enter to learn and we depart to serve, that we deliver care to people who are hurting. I think all of us during this year of nursing owe a debt of gratitude, especially during this global pandemic. We owe a debt of gratitude to nurses and other frontliners who are actually working as soldiers in the battle against the spread of this virus. And so we want to congratulate, of course, our School of Nursing and the dean of the chair of our nursing department, Dr. Karen Anderson, for the work that they are doing to create the Oakwood nurse, who is famous for our particular care and character that we bring to the nursing profession.
Wow. So why don't we let Ms. Stovall come in and speak to us about some more of this history behind Oakwood University and the nursing area. And what do we have in the archive about all of this wonderful things that are happening we're celebrating today?
Thank you, Donna, for the question. It's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity to be here and to contribute to this conversation. I was just reading here in the archives, we have the history of Oakwood. From the early beginnings even into the present. I try to maintain all of the data that's significant to Oakwood University. And as Dr. Pollard said earlier, the university has been blessed above and beyond. We started with the humble beginnings in 1896 with 16 students. And one of the students, Mrs. Etta Littlejohn, who is a relative or the of Elder Bradford, and she was also a nursing student. And the nursing department was organized. The first nursing department was organized in 1907. Mm-hmm. We have a rich history of Oakwood and the significance. The nursing department and the medical work played a significant part of the history of Oakwood. So, we're rich, we're blessed, and as many would say, highly favored.
Yes, yes. So, and I would imagine that this is very helpful for Cheri Wilson with the development of one of the wonderful things that are coming out of our campus. So can you tell us about where we are? And I'm sure there was no fundraising maybe back in the 1800s. Was there, or,
Actually, Ellen White used to have some little safety boxes or giving boxes and encourage people to give whatever they had and put them in these little boxes for education and the ministry. So there's always been philanthropy, whether it was time or money, but we are certainly excited about what's happening now in 2020.
Wow. And, we do have more ways, coming from boxes of contributions to now endowments, right? So this is a great, great growth that we're seeing here at Oakwood University. So tell us about the endowments that we have now at Oakwood University.
Thank you so much. Well, as you know, the revenue that comes through Oakwood University is through tuition, and now we have all these industries, and then there's giving and grants. And endowment is a big part of it. So as you know, we announced that we had a goal for 20 million in 2020. We reached that goal, and now we're trying to achieve 100 million by 2030. And endowment is money set aside and invested for the future. You don't touch the principal, but you can spend the income. Oakwood hasn't done that. We have a general endowment, and then we have several scholarship endowments. Would you like me to tell about one of those?
Well, yes, I would, because I think, people want to know how Oakwood University uses specifically its endowments and the other funds that it receives. Yeah.
Yes, so as I said, the general is not, we're not using that, but the scholarship endowments, individuals have started an endowment with $5,000, they build it up to 25,000, we invested, and then we only use the interest for whatever their designation is, whatever their criteria is for a student. So it's pretty easy to set up. It lasts for a lifetime, and it's for the mission of Oakwood University, and it directly impacts the students with these scholarship endowments. We have a very special endowment. Do you want me to tell about that?
Yes, please.
Dr. Zavon and Jackie Kanion on, who has started a scholarship, and it's a nursing scholarship.
Wonderful.
So we're excited. We thank them. We appreciate all they've done to start that scholarship, and many others have started scholarship endowments.
Wow. So let's talk to Dr. and Mrs. Kanion, who we just thank you so much for your support of Oakwood University in so many different ways. Tell us about this scholarship that and this endowment that you've set up.
Well, we have a burden for education in general, and particularly nursing education, because for one reason, the number of nurses that are in our family. My mother, who the nursing scholarship is named for, entered Oakwood Academy in 1930.
Wow.
She finished the academy, went on to the junior college, did the nursing program that was available, and was one of the ones who could not do the clinical training in Adventist hospitals, except for one, Paradise Valley Hospital in California, where she went. And she finished the RN degree at Meharry's Medical College in Nashville, and was a member of the very first class there. From Meharry, she went to Emmanuel Missionary College, Andrews University now, and received BSN degree. My sister, as we mentioned earlier, is a graduate of the first nursing class at Oakwood to graduate in 1975. My sister-in-law is a graduate of Oakwood University's nursing class. And my wife, who had to go turn down some noise, is a nurse also. She, of course, finished Webster University and the University of Missouri, Kansas City. So there are a bunch of nurses in our family. And we do have a burden for nursing. And we wanted to support the university. As you know, Dr. Pollard, I have a concern and a burden for increasing the university's endowment. Mm-hmm. And we have endeavored to do that by making this nursing endowment available.
Wow. So how large is this endowment? This is the first year for it?
No, ma'am. The endowment, I think we have increased it to, what is it, Cheri? $700,000?
Nice.
$700,000.
$700,000.
Mm-hmm.
You could do a lot with that, Dr. Pollard, to help students.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And the university is forever indebted to donors like the Kanions and many others who see the need for using their gifts to advance the institution. We could not run the institution without philanthropy. When Oakwood was founded in 1896, it was a $6,000 purchase. Can you believe that? All these acres, about 6,000, 8,000, maybe 8. I've seen two different numbers in the historical archives, either 6 or 8, because we don't have an original bill of sale. But let's say $8,000 for all of this acreage. And to think that from there to now, we've become $100 million enterprise. When you look at the buildings, the grounds, the industries, all the holdings of the enterprise, to move from there, you have to say what has God wrought. But the institution did not get there on its own. It arrived there through the faithfulness of God's people and the contributions of donors, philanthropy, grants, contracts, industry development. All of these have created the Oakwood that we now see today. And we're very great, and we're celebrating that today, 124 years later.
Wow. And you know what? I mean, I think it's just so timely that we're celebrating 124 years and focusing on nursing because, Ms. Anderson, there's so much of a great need for nurses nowadays, especially because of the pandemic. Can you say a little bit about that?
Yes. The challenge is, of course, the numbers of nurses. There's not enough. And early in the pandemic, areas that were hard hit were pulling from other areas. Now we're seeing that every area needs their own nurses because it is so prevalent. So the numbers is the issue. We need to produce more nurses. We don't have enough. Even as we speak, they're calling for nursing students, even though they haven't graduated, to come and help. And specific tasks have been delegated to students. They haven't graduated yet, but they have been trained to a point, and the hospitals need all the help they can get because they see that the numbers are increasing as we speak. So this is even more of a reason why we need to train more nurses. And this endowment is definitely going to help because students, a lot of them have to work. And with a demanding program of study, it's just even more urgent that we have scholarships available to assist our students. So this is a big reason why we need this extra help through the endowment.
Donna, you know, most persons who are outside of higher education have no idea that on most university campuses, especially at the undergraduate level, on most university campuses, the most rigorous and demanding program of study is actually nursing. Because it's like, and Dr. Anderson and I have talked about this before, it's like taking an 18-year-old and putting them into medical or dental school. The rigor, the demands, the requirements, science, as well as the final passing of nationally boarded test. It's a very, very, very demanding curriculum, and our students need all the help and all the support that we can give them to make it easier. I almost think nursing is one of those programs of study where students actually cannot really do extensive work. You know, say we want students to work to help support themselves. The program is so demanding that it requires a full-time focus. And so donors like the Kanions and others help make that a lot easier as we help facilitate the students going through. And then we say to the students who are the recipients of this largesse, we say, now, when you get out, don't forget to reach back and to give to your school. That's what we ask our students to do. As you were helped, reach back and help someone else.
Did we give the official name of this endowment, Dr. and Ms. Kanion? What was the official name of it?
You're muted, Dr. Kanion. You're muted.
There you go. All
Okay,
right.
It's Helen Miller Kanion Scholarship.
I'm sorry.
The Helen Miller Kanion Scholarship, nursing scholarship.
Nursing scholarship. Okay. So we're gonna, I know people want to know, you know, maybe somebody out there is listening and now they're inspired to go into the nursing program at Oakwood University. So Ms. Battles, tell us about how people can continue to support this program and support the other scholarships and other endowments that Oakwood has.
Yes, we would be very happy to talk with any donors that would like to contribute to our mission here at Oakwood University. You can go to give.oakwood.edu, or you can call us at 256-726-7201, and we will be happy to assist you. Or you can email us at, well, my email is mbattles@oakwood.edu. And we'd be very happy to speak with anyone. We have so many scholarships, anything that you would be interested in, we would be happy to discuss with you. But we'd love you to jump in and support our nursing endowment at this time. Thank you.
Dr. Anderson, can you tell us about the enrollment and how students can become a part of this program at Oakwood University?
Yes, thank you. Currently, we have 55 students enrolled. And if you would like to join the nursing program, of course, you have to be accepted by the university first, and then you apply to be a part of the nursing program. So it has its separate application, and that application is on the website. So that's how you can become a part.
Wonderful. And that website again is?
www.oakwood.edu.
Okay. It's on our main website. Okay. All right, but it has its own landing page that you can go to. Yes. Okay, gotcha. All right, so listen, we are celebrating 124 years. So what other things are we doing to celebrate our birthday for Oakwood University and the Founders Day? Dr. Pollard or anyone?
Okay, yeah, Cheri has an outline of the activity, a special activity plan today. You can see it in her backdrop. So Cheri, maybe you could talk a little bit about it.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Dr. Pollard. Yes, today is Founders Day for Oakwood University. We're celebrating all day. We're excited about this is the 124th year, but it actually kicks off a year long of celebrations leading up to the 125th anniversary on November 16, 2021. We're starting out, of course, this morning with Inside Oakwood with Dr. Pollard, and then we are having our campaign all day, 1896 campaign. And so, as Miriam says, you can go to give.oakwood.edu and give to anywhere you want to. But of course, we are encouraging scholarship endowments. And let me tell you why that's important, because we have actually a little announcement, a big announcement to make right now. The Kanions have graciously challenged us. They're going to give an additional $100,000 to their scholarship, and they are encouraging and challenging our alums and friends to match that in scholarships of their own, or to give scholarships, give to the general endowment, or start a scholarship of their own. We also have, so thank you, Dr. Kanion. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. That is huge. So we just really appreciate you all and the support that you've given the institution and our students to make their lives easier as they study and to further their service in the future. The other things that are going on is we have a celebration at 12 noon, from 12 to 1 at the Oakwood University Farmers Market, or Farms Market in the pavilion at 12. And we have a little event planned there with some cake and balloons, and just have some fun, like a birthday party, a little short program. And then we have a special Inside Oakwood newsletter coming out this evening as well. So join us on Facebook, looking at social media, give, or come to the event. We're excited about it. And then look for the future, all the different things that will be happening this year, leading up to the big 125th year celebration.
May I add one thing, please?
Yes, I was going to you. Go ahead.
Today is Founders Day, as has been mentioned, and it's a special day for giving. And we want to invite everyone to join in and match what the Kanions have given. So we have a big match going on, and we hope to reach it today. So please join us in donating on today, Founders Day, November 16.
Now go ahead and tell us again, Miriam, how people can donate. They can mail in, they can go to the website and contribute that way. How to give? How do we give?
Yes, you can give at give.oakwood.edu, which is the easiest way to do it and the fastest way. Or you can mail your donations to Advancement Office, 7000 Adventist Boulevard, Oakwood University, 7000 Adventist Boulevard, Huntsville, Alabama, 35896, or you can call us and we'll be happy to process your donation over the phone.
Wow. Well, Dr. Pollard, you know, it makes me want to go back to school. You think it's too late for me to go back to school and study
Never,
nursing?
never. Always, you know, we've got adult programs, we've got online delivery programs, we've got an MBA, an MPH, and you can experience all of those programs in the online environment now. So you can stay where you are and still be an Oakwoodite and graduate from Oakwood. What a wonderful opportunity. The marvels of technology have made our education much more accessible.
Right. So Dr. Pollard, just as we get ready to close out, just wrap it up for us and just talk about how excited you are about the blessings that God has given this university in the past, right now, and what's coming in the future.
Okay. So Donna, thank you. And my favorite quote that guides me and steers me as we work through all of the challenges of the pandemic and all the challenges that represents for higher education. Even today, higher education is really experiencing tremendous upheaval. It was already having upheaval before COVID, but now COVID has just changed the whole menu for how we deliver education, how students experience it, whether or not it's going to be online, whether it's going to be in person, on ground, virtual, hybrid, all of these different variations that can be befuddling to students. And so one of the things I think about when I think about Oakwood is a famous quote by our founder, Mrs. Ellen White. She said, "We have nothing to fear for the future, except we forget how God has led us in the past." Now, when we think about that, I think about the way God led the institution from its founding in 1896 through all the various name changes from Oakwood Manuals to Oakwood Industrial to Oakwood Junior College to Oakwood College to Oakwood University. And now, when I think about how we started in those early days, almost a high school, and now we're doing graduate education. If we look back on the past, we can see how God has blessed the institution. And from those blessings, we draw strength for the future, for the present and for the future challenges that we face. So we have nothing to fear. That's the point that I love. Nothing to fear. In perfect fear casts out love. We have a song that we play at WJOU all the time about fear, not having the last word. I love that song, right? All right, I love that song. Donna loves that song too. She plays it all the time. So everyone, we have nothing to fear for the future, except we forget. So the one thing that we should fear is that kind of spiritual amnesia that causes us to lose sight of what God has done. But as long as we remember, God will be with us, he will bless us, and he will continue guiding our future. So happy birthday, Oakwood. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Dr. Pollard. This has been Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard and special guest. We thank you for being with us today. Join us again for another edition on Thursday.